Billionaires usually get treated like kings, but what happens when one pilot just doesn't give a damn? This is the story of the time Elon Musk tried flexing mid-flight, and got roasted so hard, he forgot how to tweet. Strap in. It gets disrespectful. It was supposed to be just another rich guy Tuesday for Elon Musk. You know the type. Private jet, expensive sunglasses, maybe a designer hoodie that costs more than your rent, and, of course, probably tweeting something weird about Dogecoin at 40,000 feet. That man can't sit on a plane without stirring up crypto markets or casually inventing a new AI just for fun. Destination? A secret SpaceX facility somewhere deep in Nevada. Not Area 51 weird, but close enough that you don't ask too many questions. The mission was big. The kind of save the world. But only if you can afford it big. This was Project Mars Exodus, Elon's golden escape plan to get the billionaire class off Earth before the rest of us get slow-cooked by climate change like leftover soup no one wanted. It was all going to plan. The rich stay rich, the rockets keep launching, and Elon keeps tweeting like a bored Bond villain with Wi-Fi. Smooth. Perfect. Untouchable. And then he walked in. The pilot. Captain Rick. No intro music. No dramatic lightning strike. Just pure, raw, veteran energy. Ex-Air Force. Combat tested. Gray beard, aviator shades. The kind of guy who looks like he's fought aliens before, won, then grilled burgers afterward like it was nothing. Honestly, if you've ever watched Independence Day, this dude looked like he taught Will Smith everything he knows. Rick didn't care about Twitter. He didn't care about Dogecoin. Teslas? Overrated. He didn't even care that he was flying for one of the richest men on the planet. Flying was his thing. It was the one thing billionaires couldn't turn into an app, and he liked reminding them of that. Meanwhile, Elon was sitting cross-legged like some Silicon Valley monk with his laptop open, probably coding a new AI that writes memes about the fall of civilization. Casual Tuesday. Then Elon looked up at the flight attendant like he was ordering oat milk at a coffee shop and said, "Tell the pilot to go faster. I don't have time for economy speed." Bro, economy speed? On a private jet? Captain Rick heard that. Oh yeah, the headset was on, volume turned up, mood already slightly annoyed. And let me tell you something about pilots like Rick, they don't do economy speed, and they definitely don't take orders from billionaires who wear zip-up hoodies in board meetings. That's when the disrespect started. And Rick? He was not the kind of guy to let that slide. You disrespect Rick, you disrespect every Top Gun VHS tape that raised him. The tension in the cockpit could have cut through titanium. Rick slowly reached for the throttle like a cowboy about to draw his revolver at high noon. And in that moment, it wasn't about Elon. It wasn't about Mars. It wasn't even about Earth melting into a sad bowl of humanity soup. It was about respect. And Captain Rick was about to teach Elon a lesson that no algorithm, no crypto pump, no meme coin could explain. This flight just went from private jet luxury to combat zone real quick. And that's just where it begins. About halfway through the flight, somewhere over the endless stretch of desert and sky, Elon got bored. And when Elon Musk gets bored, that's usually when strange things start happening on Twitter. But this time, it wasn't social media he wanted to stir up. It was the cockpit. Elon, sitting there with his $3,000 sunglasses like a Bond villain on Casual Friday, reached for the little radio on the armrest. He pressed the button like a kid poking a sleeping bear with a stick. You know, Elon said, with that annoying mix of ego and fake humility, I'm probably the smartest person to ever sit in that chair. Bro. Silence followed. Cold. Heavy. The kind of silence where you know something is about to go down. Then, click, the sound of Captain Rick's radio switching on. Calm. Steady. Combat pilot comm. Like he was answering a call from his grandma, but his grandma was a billionaire tech bro asking for attention. Rick's voice came through, smooth as butter with just the right amount of disrespect. Bro. I've dodged heat-seeking missiles at Mach 3. I don't care about your Twitter followers. Buzz. Dead. Instant kill shot. Elon just sat there like someone had unplugged his brain. Completely roasted. In 4K. Dolby Atmos. Full IMAX. Live on Twitch. With chat spamming L's in real time. The flight crew? Pretending not to laugh. You know that awkward moment when you're at work and your boss gets roasted but you can't react? Yeah. That. The co-pilot was biting his lip so hard he probably needed stitches. The flight attendant leaned against the door, whispering to herself like a commentator at a boxing match, "Damn." But Captain Rick? He wasn't finished. Oh no. This man was flying the plane and cooking Elon like a side hustle. Also, Rick continued, casually flicking a switch like a chef adding seasoning, "Tell your friends at Tesla, I've flown electric before. It's called lightning storms. Your cars still need charging, fire fire fire." Elon blinked twice. His neural net processor was buffering. You could almost hear the Windows XP error sound going off in his brain. This was turning into something deeper than a billionaire getting roasted. This was a generational event. Rick wasn't just flying this plane. He was delivering life lessons at 35,000 feet. Somewhere in the back, you could hear the ancestors of Air Force pilots nodding in approval from the spirit realm. And just when you thought Elon might tap out, he doubled down. Why? Because if there's one thing that strikes Elon's ego harder than a bad Dogecoin meme, it's people disrespecting his rockets. Rockets are his whole thing. SpaceX, Mars, I'm saving humanity, blah blah blah, it's his Roman Empire. Trying to claw back some dignity, Elon muttered just loud enough to be heard, "Well, at least I'm building rockets to save humanity." Click. Rick was ready before the sentence even hit the oxygen mask. Yeah. Cute. Your rockets are the Wish.com version of the ones I used to fly for NASA. At least mine didn't explode on TikTok. Skull and crossbones, skull and crossbones, skull and crossbones. Elon sat there frozen. You know that stare billionaires get when they're calculating PR damage in real time? That was happening. You could practically see the tweet drafts forming behind his eyes. Some people fear progress because they peak in fighter jets. Sad. But the worst part? Rick wasn't even mad. He didn't raise his voice, didn't even change his tone. Calm. Trained. Military precision. This wasn't a roast. It was a surgical strike on tech bro ego. And the war wasn't over yet. The plane was descending now, cutting through layers of clouds like it didn't even care. Smooth. Confidence. Like Rick was parking a Bugatti at a gas station just to flex on people who don't even sell premium fuel. Private aviation wasn't new to Rick. He made landings like this before Elon Musk had his first PayPal password. And right now? This wasn't just a landing, it was the setup for something bigger. Just before touchdown, Rick decided it was story time. "Funny thing, Musk," he said over the intercom, sounding more like a grandpa telling ghost stories by a campfire than a pilot landing a multi-million-dollar jet. "I used to work with NASA. Engineering division. Solid team. Good people." Elon glanced toward the cockpit, eyes narrowing. His billionaire spidey sense was tingling. He knew what was coming next, and it wasn't gonna be good. You don't get that rich without learning to read incoming threats like a radar detects turbulence. Rick didn't miss a beat. He was cruising on confidence alone at this point. Ever wonder why I fly private jets now? Silence. Rick loved silence. Silence is where pilots live. It's where roasts get cooked low and slow, like championship barbecue. Yeah. I got blacklisted, Rick finally said, eyes locked on the runway like a wolf staring down its prey. You know by who? Your little, innovation team. There it was. The shot across the bow. The plot twist hitting harder than Netflix spoilers on Twitter. They stole one of my propulsion designs a decade ago, Rick continued. Didn't pay. Didn't give credit. Just told me I was too old school. You could feel Elon's jaw tighten. Not because he cared about Rick personally, nah, that's not how billionaires work, but because being exposed hurts more than actual failure. Failure you can spin. Exposure? That's raw. That's 4K Ultra HD embarrassment. But Rick wasn't done. This wasn't just a descent, it was a TED Talk with landing gear. You built your empire on ideas from guys like me. Quiet ones. Old school ones. The ones too busy doing the work to post about it on X. Fire, fire, fire. The co-pilot slowly turned his head, pretending to adjust controls that didn't need adjusting. Bro was out here adjusting vibes, not instruments. The flight attendant? Frozen in place. Witnessing history like someone at the front row of a celebrity boxing match, popcorn in hand, eyes wide. Elon tried to pull his usual billionaire move, the passive billionaire shrug. That thing he does when someone brings up labor conditions or environmental lawsuits. Not my department. But this time? Nah. Didn't land. Not on Rick's flight. Rick kept going, voice smoother than a jazz saxophone solo. You're just another tech bro with Wi-Fi money playing dress-up as Tony Stark. And then came the landing. Smooth. Clean. Like butter spread with a gold knife by a man who doesn't even eat carbs. The kind of landing where the passengers don't clap, but they should. One hand on the controls. The other? Holding a half-eaten BLT sandwich like it was a family heirloom passed down through generations of absolute legends. But this wasn't the end. No, sir. This wasn't just a landing, it was the finale. Rick stood up, brushing the crumbs off his flight jacket like a villain in a Christopher Nolan movie, ready for the final scene. He didn't rush. He didn't pose. He just moved like a man who's been waiting a decade to deliver this speech. He walked straight up to Elon. Stopped right in front of him. Took off his aviators. Slow. Deliberate. No background music required, the vibe was the soundtrack. One more thing, Rick said, voice low, deadly accurate. Mars? Overrated. The disrespect in that cabin was